Hello fellow YouTube listeners and watchers. I'm going to do a short demo, I'll try and keep it as short as I can, on the Moog Source. Please do excuse me if I end up calling it Moog, but it's 15 years of bad habits and not realising that it's not pronounced as it looks. This is kind of like a tribute. There's some great demos out there. I haven't seen an explanatory demo too much of this particular synthesizer, so I thought I would get in there and try and explain it to the best of my ability on how it works and why I love this synth so much. A bit about the history. It came out in 1981 or thereabouts, and was supposed to be the direct replacement for the Minimoog, so it had a lot to live up to. I'm trying not to compare the two synths because they're both completely different, and I'm not trying to say one better or worse than the other, but as this is supposed to be a continuation, I'll compare a few of the things that are not as good and some things that are actually better about this synth. In many ways this is very underrated because some people would assume that it's let down by, as you can see, the lack of knobs and sliders. To some people that is a problem. To me, I don't mind it so much, and the fact that you can store your sounds is a kind of balance between the lack of knobs and sliders. So you can see the blue buttons are fixed parameters and the yellow buttons are editable. Once you click that, for example cut off, you go into edit mode and you use this incremental wheel here to adjust whatever function that is. It's only one more step, so once you've learnt the synth, it's actually very easy to use, and at the end of the day you've only got two hands anyway, so instead of going like that, you've just got to go like that and like that. So to me, I don't find that a problem. The Minimoog has 3 oscillators, and it also has more waveforms. That's an advantage. This has only got 2 oscillators, but you have sync, which the Minimoog doesn't have. You've also got a full ADSR envelope for both the filter and the loudness, or the actual VCA, the shape of the sound. It has an arpeggiator, which is very cool, sample and hold unit, a sample and hold to the filter, 16 memories, which is great because you can store your sounds and you've got them instantly. Okay, I think it's 3 milliseconds from the point where you hit the button for it to work. So what I'll do is I'm just going to start by just going through the sound. So first of all, if I just press 1, you end up with this bass. This is one of my presets I've made. Okay, so that's the sound. So why don't we kind of start from the beginning. I'll try and make it a kind of neutral sound. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of making it note on, note off. Okay, that's a good start. Oscillator 2, I will take that down, so we've just got oscillator 1. So, first of all, sawtooth wave. Triangle wave too. Let me just take the resonance off and open up the filter. Okay, so the heart of a great synth is the oscillators. This has got pure voltage controlled Moog oscillators, and they sound fantastic. The sawtooth wave is lovely and bright and buzzy. The triangle wave is really usable, you know, and a lot of synths it's just good for subs, but it actually gives you a really lovely rich tone to it. Very nice and bassy. And you also have this square wave, and as you can see it's an editable parameter, so it goes on there and that adjusts the pulse of it. So as you can see, that's pretty good variation of sound there. I might just turn it down just a touch because I don't want it to maybe a bit more. Okay, so you've also got your footage, the stops, so 32. Okay, so we want to mix it with oscillator 2, which has exactly the same functions. Put them together, and I'm going to mix that up. So we've got the square wave there against the sawtooth there. And of course we can change our interval. So that's both the sawtooth waves together. As you can see, very nice tone to it. Noise generator does what it says on the tin. Cut-off, of course, again another great advantage of the Moog synthesizer is its lovely 24 decibel ladder filter, which there's no exception here. You've got your cut-off there. You've got the contour amount as well. So if I just take that right down, nice and mellow. Bring that right up. Nice and bright. You've also got your keyboard tracking, which basically keeps the filter in pretty much the same position. Half tracking. So if I actually take this down, which means that as you go up the keyboard, the filter opens up. And then full tracking, which is really good because you can actually go into self-oscillation with the resonance and actually use that to make a tone, and it works. Speaking of which, the resonance control, that's fully up. As you'd expect, the Moog filter sounds brilliant. The envelope generators. This is another one of my favourite things of a Moog synthesizer. To this date, I've not found another synth which has such a great attack time. It's really cutting and instant. It's almost like the keyboard kind of plays itself. It's a very playable synth. So, for example, so that's your fast attack, slow attack, and of course you could assign it to the filter. Let me just turn it up a little bit more, just in case. Next thing, if I just come out of this, go back to our original sound. We've got our LFO. You can assign that to either the oscillators or the filters. Great thing about the LFO on this synth is the speed of it goes into kind of hyperspace, and you can create, even though it doesn't have a ring modulator, you can kind of create those kind of ring mod sounds. I'll show you. So that's just going to the oscillators now. I'm going to kind of do it over the top. Now change this rate. As you can see, it goes really fast, and you've also got your square wave sound. So as you can see, it's pretty versatile just by using that. It's not the most complex synth, you know. It doesn't got loads of routings on it. It just does everything really well. Let's just go through some of the preset sounds we've got. Nice bright saw sound there. Also forgot to mention you have the oscillator sync as well. an example of how quick those envelopes are. So you've got the filter running through this envelope as well. It's got a nice real bite to it, and it's got that lovely Moog kind of overdriven distortion to it. That is purely just the resonance and no oscillators on, because we got the keyboard tracking on. Kind of works. Nice portamento as well. As you can hear, it's not linear. Having owned loads of Japanese synths, which I absolutely adore as well, they tend to have a kind of linear portamento, whereas this one has got a kind of like a real bite, real kind of step up as it goes to the top, and I find that quite expressive as well. Next thing, arpeggiator. So you go on to level 2, which gets your sequencers and arpeggiators going. So what I'll do is I'll just do this. It's kind of cool. So you turn the arpeggiator on. Hold on, let me just do that. And then when you re-trigger the first note you played, multi-trigger as well, so it triggers a note. And let's run it through some echo. So if we want to do that again. Sample and hold to the filter. Sample and hold to the oscillator. So no oscillators, just the just full resonance up, and my fast LFO there. And there you have it, Moog Source